Have you ever found yourself in that situation where you were sure a woman was interested but hesitated to act? Or worse, only noticed the signs after the opportunity had passed? Don't worry, this is more common than you think. The truth is that women are usually subtle in demonstrating interest, using a silent language that many men simply can't decipher. Today, I will reveal 4 unmistakable signs that show when a woman is truly interested in intimacy with you. With this knowledge, you will never again miss that special moment because you didn't know how to identify the right signals. Pay close attention because every detail makes a difference. The psychology of attraction is a complex and fascinating universe, filled with nuances that go far beyond what our eyes can quickly capture. Each human interaction carries with it an intricate web of nonverbal communication, where subtle gestures reveal desires and intentions that are often not verbally expressed. Understanding this silent language requires us to delve into the intricacies of emotional communication, recognizing that each culture and individual has its own particularities in expressing interest. Women, in particular, develop sophisticated ways of signaling their desire, using a combination of psychological, emotional, and behavioral elements. The factors influencing attraction are multiple and interconnected: biological, social, psychological, and individual aspects intertwine to create this complex system of communication. The way a woman demonstrates interest is neither linear nor universal, but follows patterns that can be identified by those who pay attention to details. Nonverbal communication presents itself as a language much richer and deeper than mere words. It involves micro-expressions, variations in tone of voice, body movements, and subtle energies that transcend the verbal field. For a man who genuinely wants to connect emotionally, developing the sensitivity to perceive these signs becomes a fundamental skill. It is important to emphasize that this perception does not mean manipulation, but rather a deeper understanding of the emotional dynamics that permeate human relationships. It involves developing an emotional intelligence capable of recognizing the desires and feelings of another, creating spaces for authentic and respectful connection. Cultural differences also play a significant role in how interest is demonstrated. What may be considered a clear sign of attraction in one culture might be seen as mere cordiality in another. Therefore, the interpretation of signals must always consider the specific context of the interaction. True mastery in the art of seduction is not found in decorated techniques or manipulative strategies, but in the ability to be truly present, to listen beyond words, and to genuinely connect with another. It is about creating an environment where vulnerability can be expressed and where feelings can flow naturally. Sign 1. Changes in tone of voice, a secret emotional code. A woman's voice carries powerful secrets that go far beyond the words spoken. When a woman is genuinely interested, her tone of voice undergoes subtle transformations, almost imperceptible to inattentive ears. These vocal modulations represent a complex emotional code, revealing layers of interest and desire that transcend the literal content of the conversation. Imagine the difference between a professional conversation and an interaction filled with interest. When a woman is attracted, her voice tends to become softer, with finer, more melodious inflections. The rhythm of her speech slows slightly, creating an atmosphere of intimacy and connection. Each word gains a special texture, as if woven with threads of seduction and genuine interest. These acoustic changes are no mere coincidence. Behavioral scientists identify that alterations in vocal tone are directly related to hormonal levels and emotional states. When a woman feels attracted, her brain releases neurotransmitters that naturally soften and modulate her vocal expression, creating a kind of body music of desire. The key to deciphering this vocal code lies in attentive observation and sensitivity. It's not enough to just listen. You must feel the nuances of the communication. A slight tremor in her voice, a more delicate laugh, strategic pauses that invite closeness. All of these elements compose this secret language of attraction. Some strategies can help confirm these perceptions. Ask questions that encourage more personal responses. Observe how her tone changes when the subject becomes more intimate. Pay attention to moments of silence filled with expectation. True mastery lies in creating an environment where this emotional communication can flow naturally. It is important to highlight that every woman has her own vocal signature. What serves as a signal of interest for one may be merely cordiality for another. Sensitivity and respect are fundamental on this journey of understanding. This is not about deciphering a universal code, but about being truly present and connected with the uniqueness of each interaction. Sign 2. Differentiated attention, the invisible map of interest. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her attention transforms into a silent language filled with deep meanings. We are not talking about casual glances or superficial conversations, but rather about a special dedication that transcends the everyday nature of social interactions. This differentiated attention is revealed through subtle and precise gestures. Imagine a woman who fully turns her body toward you during a conversation, eliminating any physical barrier or emotional distance. Her eyes shine with genuine interest, following every word, every nuance of your expression. She not only listens, but absorbs attentively everything you say, creating an almost magnetic connection. The signs may seem discreet, but they are eloquent. A gentle touch on your arm during a laugh, a physical closeness that breaks the conventional protocols of social distancing, a smile that goes beyond mere courtesy. All of these elements make up the invisible map of feminine interest. In a social setting, this attention takes on even more interesting contours. At a party or event, she may begin to orbit around you, creating opportunities for interaction that feel utterly natural. Her focus will be almost exclusive, even among dozens of other people. It will be as if you are inside a private bubble, where the rest of the world disappears. The true art lies in recognizing and reciprocating that attention. It is not about competition, but rather a delicate dance of emotional connections. Notice the details she shares. Recall small moments shared previously. Demonstrate that you also observe her deeply. This can turn a fleeting interest into a truly significant connection. It is important to note that this attention should not be confused with invasive or possessive behaviors. It is a subtle, respectful energy that invites emotional closeness without pressuring or invading personal boundaries. The key lies in sensitivity and the ability to create a safe space where both can genuinely express themselves. Developing this perception requires practice, sensitivity, and above all, a genuine openness to understand the other in her total complexity. Each woman will express her interest in a unique way, and your mission is to be truly present to capture those magical nuances of human communication. Sign 3. The classic, playing with hair as a language of desire. The gesture of playing with hair transcends mere vanity. It represents a fascinating non-verbal code that reveals deep layers of feminine interest and emotion. When a woman begins to stroke, adjust, or play with her hair during a conversation, she is sending subtle and powerful signals of attraction that few men can interpret correctly. This seemingly innocent movement carries surprising emotional complexity. Behavioral scientists identify this gesture as an instinctive manifestation of excitement and positive nervousness. By touching her hair, a woman unconsciously seeks to draw attention, highlight her femininity, and signal romantic interest. The variations of this gesture are revealing. A delicate adjustment of hair behind the ear, a gentle toss of the strands behind her back, or a nervous fidget with the tips can mean much more than simple distraction. They are true, silent invitations, emotional codes that communicate desire without uttering a single word. Evolutionary psychology explains that this behavior has deep roots. Historically, healthy and well-groomed hair represented fertility and health, attracting potential partners. Today, this instinct remains, transforming the simple act of playing with hair into a sophisticated dance of seduction. It is important to note that not every hair movement means romantic interest. Context, intensity, and the combination with other signs are crucial for accurate interpretation. A quick automatic touch is different from a prolonged gesture charged with intention. How to respond to this signal? The key lies in subtlety and respect. A gradual approach, an interested gaze, a light comment that shows you notice the movement without appearing invasive. The art lies in creating an environment where she feels safe to continue expressing her interest. Developing sensitivity to these signals requires practice, careful observation, and above all, respect for feminine individuality. Every woman has her unique body language, her own communication code. The true seducer does not memorize techniques, but learns to be genuinely present, connected, and sensitive to the emotional nuances of each interaction. Sign 4. Unintentional physical contact, the subtle language of the body. Physical interactions carry a complex and fascinating emotional grammar. When a woman establishes subtle, seemingly accidental body contacts, she is, in fact, developing a silent communication filled with profound meanings. These unintentional touches represent much more than mere coincidences. They are genuine emotional invitations laden with intention. Imagine a situation where she lightly touches your arm during a laugh or adjusts her sleeve close to you. These seemingly random gestures hide a sophisticated strategy of approach. Physical touch in this context functions as a territorial test, a delicate way to assess your reaction and establish an intimate connection without seeming overtly invasive. These bodily contacts are true measures of interest. A brushing of hands that seems accidental, a light touch on the shoulder while making a comment, a subtle support during a walk. Each movement carries an energy of closeness. Neuroscience proves that such touches trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, creating an almost imperceptible chemical connection. It is essential to understand that not every physical contact represents romantic interest. The context, frequency, and manner in which the touch occurs are crucial elements for an accurate interpretation. Emotional sensitivity allows one to distinguish between a merely social gesture and a potential invitation to intimacy. A man's response to these signals requires balance and respect. It is not about advancing abruptly, but rather reciprocating with subtlety. An interested look, a gentle movement of closer approach, a bodily response that signals reciprocity without pressure. The art lies in creating an environment where the connection can flow naturally, without imposition. Each woman has her own body language, her unique code of communication. The true seducer does not seek magical formulas, but develops the capacity to be genuinely present, connected, and sensitive to the emotional nuances of each interaction. Intimacy is not conquered. It is built through a delicate dance of respect, genuine interest, and synergy. When recognizing the signs of female attraction, a fundamental challenge arises: understanding how these elements combine to reveal true interest. It is not enough to capture an isolated sign. One must comprehend the complex orchestration of nonverbal communication occurring simultaneously. The language of seduction does not follow a rigid manual, but rather a dynamic dance of subtleties. Each signal needs to be observed in its complete context, considering the energy, the environment, and the specific connection between two people. A single gesture may mean little, but when multiple signs align, they reveal a complete story of desire and interest. Imagine the signs as pieces of an emotional puzzle. The soft tone of voice, the unintentional touch, the playful hair movements, and the differentiated attention are not isolated elements, but components of a complex narrative of attraction. When these pieces fit together harmoniously, they create an almost irresistible invitation to intimacy. True mastery lies in perceiving these nuances without appearing invasive or disrespectful. It is not about deciphering a secret code, but about developing sensitivity to the subtleties of human communication. Attentive observation allows one to recognize moments where interest transcends the superficial and moves toward a deeper connection. Men who master this art do not rely on memorized techniques, but cultivate a genuine and respectful presence. The ability to read signals resides much more in emotional sensitivity than in manipulative strategies. It is about creating a space where vulnerability can be expressed, where feelings flow naturally. Each interaction is unique. Each woman has her own body language. What works in one situation might be completely different in another. Flexibility, active listening, and respect are more powerful tools than any seduction manual. Therefore, observe, feel, and be truly present. The signals of female desire are a subtle dance, a silent invitation for a connection beyond the physical. Learn to recognize them not as a technique, but as an art of mutual understanding and deep respect. The next step after identifying signs of female interest requires a strategic and respectful approach. Male confidence at this moment needs to be balanced, avoiding invasive or aggressive postures. The secret lies in creating an emotionally safe environment where the woman feels comfortable deepening the connection. An effective strategy begins with a gentle and natural approach. Upon perceiving the signs of interest, the man should initiate a light conversation, showing he has picked up on the emotional codes without appearing presumptuous. Open questions that encourage dialogue, interesting comments about something shared, and a genuine smile can transform a potential moment into a meaningful interaction. Communication at this stage requires a sensitivity that is almost tactile. It is crucial to read between the lines, understand the unspoken, perceive moments of hesitation, and recognize silent invitations. An attentive gaze can distinguish between momentary interest and a genuine emotional connection. It is also fundamental to completely respect personal boundaries. If you perceive any signs of discomfort, the man needs to gracefully retreat while maintaining cordiality. Pressure is never an intelligent strategy. True seduction lies in the ability to create a safe space where both feel free to genuinely express their emotions. Some practical examples can assist on this journey. If she shows interest through subtle touches, a delicate response could be to lean in slightly, creating a zone of intimacy without invasion. If her tone of voice changes, responding with an equally warm intonation can intensify the connection. Confidence shines not through grand gestures, but in small details. A genuinely interested listening, the ability to recall elements previously shared, light and intelligent humor, all of this composes a picture of sophisticated seduction. It is important to understand that there are no absolute guarantees. Each interaction is unique, and every woman has her own emotional dynamics. The true seducer does not seek to control, but to be present, authentic, and sensitive. The art lies in creating an environment where connection can flow naturally, without impositions or rigid expectations. The key to success lies in the combination of confidence, respect, and sensitivity. It is not about conquering, but about building a genuine connection where both feel valued and understood in their multiple emotional dimensions. The conclusion of this guide on female signs of desire represents more than a simple closure. It is an invitation to personal transformation, where each man can develop a sophisticated emotional intelligence. True seduction transcends memorized techniques and resides in the ability to be genuinely present, sensitive to emotional nuances. Developing this perception means connecting deeply while respecting the individuality of each woman. The knowledge gained serves not to manipulate, but to create spaces of authenticity where feelings can flow naturally without pressures or rigid expectations. The art lies in understanding that each interaction is unique and precious.